Welcome back to Four Favorites, brought to you by the Quiet on Set podcast. I'm your host, Ewan, and today I am joined by Lachlan Thiele. Hello,
Me.
hello?
Me.
A lot of
Hello.
energy you got there.
Me.
Magic fingers
Yes.
is what they call you.
Magic fingers, yep.
Magic
This is
fingers,
the romance,
yes.
so we shouldn't say magic fingers.
It's Valentine's Day, and it's romance
Valentine's
time.
Day.
Yeah,
Gorgeous. Happy
rom-com,
Valentine's
romance.
Day, Ewan.
Thank you to you too. I will smooch you, but you are literally on the other side of the world.
Literally on the other side.
I can see you turn red, but you've been red before. That's not related to me saying
I'm
this
just
stuff.
sunburnt, so don't think this is blushing, Ewan. I'm just
God damn
kissed
it.
by the beautiful sun down under. You know what I mean?
The sun is a bit polyamorous in that way, just kissing everyone. So,
Everyone.
anyways, this is Four Favorites, a show where we go over a guest's four favorite films to a selected genre, topic, or whatever. This month in February, in celebration of Valentine's Day and love, we are going over some of the best romance and rom-com films. And Lachlan, I think for you that there's no rom-com in there. I think there's also not going to be that much rom-com. We do have some guests later on that are pretty much exclusively rom-coms, so there is going to be a whole bunch of representation just because it's a big genre as well. A lot of films just have romance baked in there, but we are trying to go for films where the romance is the center point of the story. So, Lachlan, let's jump straight in. Do you have some honorable mentions before we get to your four favorites?
No.
No, because there's space for four romance film in your life. Other than that, you're really monogamous when it comes to that.
Let me
You don't
just
have to
quickly
have
go...
any honorable
no,
mentions.
No, you're letting me pick.
Okay.
So give me a second, mate. I'm just gonna jump over to my letterboxd. I think a couple of them that I could quickly shout out that I think really do just take the cake. I mean, I love The Shape of Water. I really do. A Guillermo del Toro film. That's a cool love film. It's about loving fish. And I love fish. I love fish and chips.
Yeah.
Fish and chips are great. Excellent. Another romance film that I absolutely love, Swiss Army Man. Two men loving each other. That's a great film. Being together. Romance, The Princess Bride. Core subject of that film is love. And love defeats all. That's a fact. And I guess finally, my final romance film, it's something that, you know, romance is important in the sense that it binds everybody together. It doesn't matter who you are, which is why my fourth favorite is Lolita.
My least favorite Kubrick film, other than
Was
like
that
some
build
of the
that build up was good, wasn't it?
No, it was.
No, I don't want to pick Lolita. I'm actually gonna pick another honorable mention of mine. It's Edward Scissorhands, like a legitimate honorable mention. Because I think I love Edward Scissorhands because it's a Christmas movie, it's a Halloween movie, it's a romance movie, it's a horror movie, it's everything, it's every genre. There's literally not a single genre not in Edward Scissorhands. Everything's in there.
Yeah.
Action, comedy, romance, Halloween, Christmas, sci-fi.
Yeah, I love it.
That's another one that's in there.
I love to that movie pop up in your honorable mentions from now on. Just now you've introduced it as this like multi-genre film.
It just
but in
has
upcoming
to be
four
in there.
favorites, it just has to be mentioned in each honorable mention for
I
you.
guess it just can't be in Western. I think that's can it?
I don't know. I mean, depending on where his hand is facing, it could face west, and the argument can be made.
And then that's Western. Yeah. That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
So cool. Love that. Anyways, where do you want to start off? I don't know if I want to.
Well, you've structured it really well for me. I get show notes. Do your other guests get show notes? I never asked.
They do. I think I usually don't show them to them because it's a bit embarrassing how I write everything out, and then I don't really read off of it. But yeah,
no,
they tend to.
You always write "G'day, Lachlan." That's always what you do on your show notes. I like to expose you on these other shows because it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm Australian. No order. I'm just gonna go from top to bottom because I think that's a great order to go with. Because I really like that last pick. I really do. I think I've thrown a curveball in there. I don't think. Have you seen that film? Have you seen that one?
I have. I've seen all of your films.
It's good,
I didn't have to catch up on any of them. You got some really good. You got a great selection here.
Good mixture, right? Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's start with a beautiful film from 2016. Personally, my favorite of this director's films. The director is Damien Chazelle. Pretty obvious at this point now. Everyone knows who the director is. It's La La Land, and
wait, sorry, Lachlan. No, it's Moonlight. I'm sorry, it's
Oh,
Moonlight.
for fuck's sakes! Oh, for fuck's sakes! Did you really have this joke set up? Oh my god!
No, I just saw something.
I love that. No. That's great.
Yeah.
La La Land is. Oh, hear that voice crack? La La Land is so much fun. So much fun. I love it. I love it so much. I love Ryan Gosling. I can't help it. He's literally in 2 of my favorite Letterboxd. I might even put La La Land up there. Now that I think of it, maybe all my Letterboxd favorites should just be Ryan Gosling films.
For February, at least, it definitely should be.
For February, it should be because Ryan Gosling is just a heartthrob in every single sense. Doesn't matter what he's doing. In this one, he's spectacular. Like, I wanted to learn the piano, and I did. I learned 1 song, and that's just Hot Cross Buns on the piano. I could never get a girl, but look at me. Here I am. And he doesn't get the girl. That's the thing.
He doesn't.
It's a romance movie where, it's not everything's going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. And that's so really that's really hardcore to do in a romance movie, to not have the them get together and be happily ever after. It's also a film that's the perfect mixture of movie and real life. Like, all of a sudden it goes into one of those dance numbers and the dancing in the stars, and you're going, wow, this is spectacular. And then next minute they're just trying to struggle to get a certain gig or get to an audition, and it's like, wow, this is super realistic. So it's that perfect hybrid of movie magic and realistic storytelling that I love about this film. I was blown away by it when it came out, and the soundtrack is wicked as well. I love the soundtrack. I have it saved in my phone, along with a couple other soundtracks and favorite albums of mine, obviously, like any person usually does. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. Everyone has their favorite stuff saved in their phone. I don't know why I said that. I have it saved in my phone. Everyone else does it. Anyway,
you're an actual you're a person with playlists, okay?
I'm a person with playlists. Look at me.
Don't
unique.
let that don't let anyone take that away from you.
But yeah, La La Land, you should watch it. It's telling me that I can watch it on Netflix, which means you could pretty much probably watch it on Netflix, unless Netflix has not allowed you to use someone's account because you're not in the same household as them, which is something they recently did, and that's really bloody annoying.
Yeah, have they already rolled it out for you in Australia? I know that in some places in the US, but I think it's coming internationally quite soon as well.
I will probably delete Netflix.
Delete it?
Not because
the whole app for everyone, or just for you?
Mainly because I'm in multiple places when I watch Netflix.
Yeah.
So
I think you're logged into different devices as well.
If it's location based, how am I supposed to can I only watch Netflix at home? I watch Netflix at work. I watch Netflix when I'm out and about sometimes. I watch it in a lot of places. It's kind of dumb. It's really dumb.
I think I don't know how often it will ask you to log in again, but this could be really, really, really annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to solve it, because I usually have a VPN on as well, just like when I'm at home as well.
This is the month of love.
Browsing. So yeah,
this is
not
the
a lot
month
of love for Netflix.
And Netflix is
You're
not
breaking
giving us
my heart,
love.
Netflix. No.
You know what Netflix said? Netflix
sharing
said
is caring.
Netflix said love is sharing passwords.
They did. Yeah. I think they did. I don't know, in 2018 or something like that. There's definitely a tweet around that they made.
Netflix.
But yeah.
Love is sharing a password.
Want to get back on track and talk about
of course.
Your favorite
My
Wes
next
Anderson
favorite?
film?
Well, this was in one of my favorite 4s on Letterboxd for a long time. Funnily enough, we were talking about that just a moment ago. And completely different style of filmmaking. Completely, because it's unique to him and him alone. It's Wes Anderson. Now, you might be thinking, which Wes Anderson film is it going to be? Because Wes Anderson has a lot of love in his films. Could it be...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. This is definitely the one where it's the most centered around love, I'd say.
Could it be
the most focused?
Hotel Xavier, whatever it's called? Could it be the Darjeeling Limited? The love
Could
of
it be
brothers. That's a good one.
asteroid and the Earth making love and killing everyone in
In
between in
Asteroid
the
City.
upcoming Asteroid City? Yeah. No.
No,
Which
it's
one is it?
Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh,
Moonrise
okay.
Kingdom.
Well, I
The
knew.
beautiful love story of these two kids running away. And that's so much fun. Now, I watched this film when I was younger,
Yeah.
basically when it came out, and I fell in love with it because I was like 13 at the time, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to run away from home. Didn't do it. Didn't work out very well. And I'm glad it didn't because I wouldn't be here doing this podcast, Ewan. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here with you in the February, the month of love.
Thank you, Wes Anderson.
Thank you, Wes Anderson, for saving me. But also thank you, Wes Anderson, for making this spectacular film. I don't think I said the rating for the last film on Letterboxd because I've now closed that tab and I can't go back to it because I'm too lazy.
I mean, it's for favorites. You don't need to.
I don't care, but I gave this film 4.5 out of 5. I love this movie. I love this movie. I love the because this is like the first live action like film that he did where you can really see some of his inspiration coming through from like animated work, and you're really going, yeah, this is a cool style. And he only perfects it later on. He really perfects it later on in the Grand Budapest and also in the French Dispatch. Even if I don't think the French Dispatch is as strong, I think he loses himself in the storytelling, and I think this is one of the best mixtures of his storytelling and also his unique style. I feel like the storytelling kind of loses don't have that emotional connection, you have that character connection anymore. And also Bruce Willis is in this film. And I like linking everything to Die Hard. So I'd like to think that this is Bruce Willis's origin story in Die Hard. Yeah, Moonrise Kingdom is spectacular. If you haven't seen it, it's this beautiful story of the two kids and young love and how love can make you do crazy things, and it's spectacular. Like, there's the small little things you remember when you were a child, what made you fall in love with another person. It's very similar to this. It's just like these little stupid things and these little awkward moments. Like, there's a moment where they're playing music and dancing, and it's so awkward. And you just go, I have done something like this in the past with someone that I fancy, and I now feel embarrassed. It's perfect. Like, it's beautiful.
It is, yeah.
And it's funny. I forgot to say in the last one that it's, La La Land has some funny moments. This movie is funny. It has good comedy. Like, Tilda Swinton is funny. Bruce Willis is also very funny. Edward Norton as the camp leader, very funny. He's a funny dude. Funny character. Moonrise Kingdom is spectacular. It is fun, funny, romantic in a childish romance kind of sense. Young love, as everyone's experienced it at some point when they were younger. Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom, period piece from the 60s as well. Set in 65, which I feel like gives it this timeless thing of just they are out in the nature, and it feels really true. It just has something about it, and it's still like heightened, but also down to earth at the same time. I don't know how he does that so well. So, great film there. We are taking, I think, one of the people who were in Moonrise Kingdom along for the ride for your next film, Bill Murray, alongside Scarlett Johansson, is in your next film from Sofia Coppola, Lost in Translation, Lachlan. Why is that one of
Lost
your
in
favorites?
Translation is gorgeous. Comes from Sofia Coppola, obviously the very successful directing child of Ford Francis Coppola. Yeah, it's stunning. I don't really have much to say about Lost in Translation because it's kind of the one that it's the one that I added first, if that makes any sense. I kind of just went, yep, Lost in Translation is going to be my first one. Sorry, I'm dying. God. What happens when you breathe in sand for like 3 days? It was like so
not ready to
windy
be
where I was
cast in Dune 3.
So yeah, I picked Lost in Translation first.
Right.
And I don't know why. I watched it many, many years ago. And I just Loved it. It was, I don't know, just it's a weird mixture of characters because I didn't know Scarlett Johansson at the time. I knew Bill Murray from my childhood movies of like Groundhog Day,
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters, yada yada yada, and I was like, "What is this weird mixture of a film?" And it kind of was like one of those first films where I saw a movie star do something different, and I go, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they can do." So
Yeah.
yeah, there's this intimate feeling between the two, and funnily enough, the same time that I came around this film, a song that I listened to at the same time came out with a sample of the dialogue in this film. Every girl goes through phases, painting horses, taking dumb pictures of their feet. Like the script of this film is so beautiful at the same time. I have read it, and the dialogue
Mm-hmm.
between Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson is just it's so natural. It's just like speaking to your best friend or your partner or someone you really really love. And
Mm-hmm.
um I call it a comedy in the sense that it's such a absurd story of these two people finding this love, an older man, a younger woman, in a city that they don't know,
Mm-hmm.
Japan. And Japan is already an interesting setting, right?
Yeah.
Japan is
Yeah.
a sick setting. It is beautiful nightscape, neon lights, bright lights, and this very simple interior design. And it's just a really interesting relationship between them that
Mm-hmm.
grows, and then once again, similar to La La Land, doesn't work out. It's a very
Yeah.
short fling. It's a fling. That's all it is,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be more than a thing, and that's all it is. So it that's why I like this film. I really enjoy films where it's not necessarily a happy ending. It's a well, this isn't
Yeah.
the way they were going to go anyway. It's the same with La La Land. It was never going to work out for them.
Yeah, I feel like it's more a partner in solitude. You get to have this shared space together for a bit until they go their own ways. And I think they probably wouldn't have worked out as partners regardless, just
No.
because of the age difference there. But they
Mm,
still had something to give to each other. Um, and I think like there was some mild controversy around it because I don't know how old Scarlett Johansson's character is. I know she was like 18 or 19 when they filmed
yeah.
it. But I don't know if she's like 17 in it, which I mean, we don't need to bring up weird Japanese laws around age of consent. It gets weird really quickly. But I think this is really a touching story. Like in the title, Lost in Translation, they're obviously abroad, but it's also a lot of stuff that is lost in translation between the two of them. So I think it's just a really great. I don't know if it's her debut as well, but such a stunning film from Sofia Coppola. I like the themes that you got here. You got obviously people who don't end up with each other but share like some sort of like they're both lonely and lost in translation. Something about the childhood in Moonrise Kingdom. In La La Land, they share the passion of music. Now, with your last one, we are jumping from Tokyo to Hong Kong with a film
Yes.
from Wong Kar-wai. And you can guess right now in the comments which one will it be because Wong Kar-wai has some stunning, amazing films
Yeah.
that another film of his will probably end up on my list. But Lachlan, what's yours from Wong Kar-wai?
Uh, it's Chungking Express, 1994. I have
Yeah.
my media teacher, Miss Egan. She introduced this to me or to the
Hmm.
class in high school. Uh, oh my god, this film was spectacular. We did
Yeah.
this study of sort of Hong Kong filmmaking at the time of this film coming out. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff going on in Hong Kong that is not
Hmm.
very good. Thank you, China, for being a dick to Hong Kong, because
Yeah.
without it, we wouldn't have movies like this. But also, fuck you
Hmm.
for doing that because you shouldn't have done that. Wong Kai Rai, is a very unique auteur, and all of his films have this very unique style, which is
Mhm.
funnily enough mimicked in movies like Everything Everywhere All at
Everything
Once.
Everywhere at
They
once.
mimic the
Yeah.
style of this sort of very slow motion, almost like a 10 frame per second style of filmmaking, and
Mhm.
a lot of his films have this, but essentially, like, Chungking Express is just these almost two sort of stories merging together into this love story of this policeman and this mysterious figure. Uh, it's just, yeah, I mean, the less you know about this film, the better.
Right.
Um, the better it is, because
Mhm.
you will watch it and you'll just be blown away by the storytelling. There's this wicked cover of California Dreaming.
Mhm.
There's just funny memes throughout, like the tinned pineapple as well. That's a fun one as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
There's just so many little things that you can just take out of this film. This film ranges the emotions of love really, really
Mhm.
well, between
Yeah.
the characters of happiness, of loss, of uh, yeah, it's a hard film to break down
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it is a love film, but it's a realistic love film in the sense that it shows not just the positive stuff, it shows
Mhm.
the negative stuff, and it's sort of a taboo love. I make the joke of
Yeah.
Lolita earlier being like, oh man, everyone's gonna hate me saying Lolita because it's a taboo movie of this man falling in love with an underage girl, but like,
Yeah.
it's the same sense that Chungking Express is this film where it's someone who wants love, and that's what everyone desires at the end of the day. Everyone desires
Mhm.
love. Everyone desires a want for somebody else, a best friend, a lover, and sometimes that comes out of nowhere. That's not someone that you kind of expect it to be, and that's a very common theme with films. I mean, we watched it recently with Decision to Leave, like
Mhm.
this love that came out of this shouldn't be relationship. Like, it shouldn't be a cop and a this essentially a murderer. They shouldn't fall in love, and you kind of
Mhm.
go, you kind of sit on the edge of your seat a little bit, and you kind of like lean in, going, "This is interesting." And you have the same thing with Chungking
Yeah.
Express, but you have this incredible auteur behind the camera with Wong Kar Wai. He's just absolutely incredible with how he demonstrates visually love, and that
Mhm.
can be with pretty much all of his films.
Yeah.
Fallen Angels is another great example, and Happy Together as well. And like, everything this man does and everything this man touches has got this beautiful color scheme to it. It's like this
Yeah.
greenish, bluish, you know, like noir feel to it.
Mhm.
But yeah, like, man, like, if you can, like, unfortunately it's not streaming anywhere right now for me, but if you can get your hand on a copy of Chungking Express, then yeah, sit down and watch it because
Mhm.
it's it's a spectacular film. And you might have
It
noticed with
is,
all
yeah.
my films, they're not like the traditional, like, 10 reasons I hate about you, or whatever the fucking movie is called.
Oh, yes, yeah. That might be on someone
Um
else's list that we
that
know.
might be on somebody else's.
Not on mine, not on mine, but on someone
And I
else's
don't
that will pop
have
up.
any of these other films. Funnily enough, in an early draft of my top 10, sorry, my top 4, I should say, it's not top 10, Donnie Darko was on my list.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Why was Donnie Darko
because
on your list?
because there's like a, you know, at the end of the day, Donnie Darko, like, he doesn't survive, and he falls in love, and then he falls in love, so he's happy to die, kind of thing, because it fixes everything. So he gets to kiss the girl, and he gets the girl. So that's kind of why I had it in there. And I was like,
Right.
no, it's not really a romance. For me, it's just that it has an aspect of romance, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I cut it out. And I realized that a lot of the films that I had in there were very similar to that. Either its
Mhm.
main concept is romance, or there's a romance subplot. with all of these
Exactly.
films
Yeah.
that I've said here, romance is kind of
It's
the
the A plot,
main
not the
thing.
B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, some of them are masked. Like Lost in Translation is clearly a romance film, and La La Land is clearly a romance film. But like La La Land has so much more going for it. Like so
Yeah. Yeah.
much more going for it. Where
Mm.
Lost in Translation is probably the closest thing to a traditional romance film, but it still has this weird aspect of older and younger couple, at least older aged man and a younger woman, and in a
Mm.
completely different country that they're both out of their depth. Then you've got,
Yeah.
young love with Moonrise Kingdom, and then you've got taboo love with Chungking Express, and then eventually, and the same with La La Land, you've got a failed love with Lost in Translation as well, and
Yeah.
Chungking Express as well. Essentially, like it's I don't know why. Maybe I'm just depressed. Maybe I'm just a depressed lover.
Well, to me, I think we'll get to my list by the end of the month because your episode will come out a bit early. I think right around Valentine's Day. So I don't know if we should always be hopeful when there's romance. I feel like with rom-coms, it's way more often a happy ending, and if you do like romance films, a lot of the time it is about the love that doesn't last. You'll definitely see that theme repeated on my list. I think I'll have a couple of sad ones in there, but I'll try and mix it up and have a good mixture of a bit of everything. And of course, Lolita as well. Can't miss out on
Lolita.
Lolita.
Can't miss
Yeah.
out on Lolita.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for your four favorites romance. Let us know what your four favorites would be in, again, like the rom-com or romance genre. Both is allowed. Subscribe to the channel to not miss the rest of the season. We got a couple more episodes coming out throughout the month. And you can follow us all on our socials. Those are linked below. We do a weekly podcast as well called the Quiet on Set podcast, where we go over some new releases. So give that a try if you haven't already. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Lachlan, you got any closing words for the people checking out your list?
I have no final comments.
All right, goodbye.